Hello. This is the Wheel of Year Tarot. And to be honest with you, it's art is by Antonella Platano, and the deck, perhaps it's the concept, probably the words, by Maria Carati. And it's a Lo Scarabeo deck. It's made in Italy. It doesn't have the fancy covering. It's probably a bit more of a what they would consider a less fancy pants or high-end deck in terms of packaging, but it's actually really fabulous. Now, I don't even remember where I bought this deck from or when. I've had it for quite a while, but the draw card was, of course, because it's about the Wheel of the Year. Now, what I've got here is, and you'll see these in your local crystal shop and places like that. You can buy them online. What it has in the circle is the 8 Sabbats. Now, of course, here in Australia, it's opposite to what they talk about in their instructions, because most of this stuff is done for the Northern Hemisphere. And down here in the South, it's opposite. So, winter solstice over in North America and Europe, of course, it's our summer solstice. So we do summer solstice at Christmas time. They do winter solstice then. And all of the other Sabbats are the opposite as well. So, one of the things that I love is actually following the Wheel of the Year. For me, it's a natural rhythm. It's one of the things that keeps us in sync. The more we get away from nature, the less human we become. That's my take. The more mechanical, the more selfish. When we grow our own food, we have a deeper appreciation for what's involved. We are closer to the animals. We take care of them better because we rely on them for our sustenance. So I love to follow the Wheel of the Year because it's a natural way of being. It keeps me more balanced, and I think it does for all people. And I've adjusted my life so that I can do that a little more than I used to. This deck is interesting. I don't know that I love the imagery, but, excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, goodness gracious, real life is happening. So there's a few different languages here. So, but of course it names the Knight of Pentacles, and it's done that in other languages too. We've got strength. I love the design on the back. It's got the wheel and a symbol for the 4 seasons. Of course, we know there's more than 4 seasons, but it focuses on the 4 main ones. Here we have the High Priestess, and she's in green rather than blue, which is an interesting one. We've got the 3 of Cups. Gorgeous. What other interesting cards have we got here? Here is the 9 of Cups, and it's the same theme, but it's more, I guess it's more European really. More European and older time. The Wheel of Fortune with the pentacle in the centre. Quite beautiful. Here's Death. She's a beautiful woman. Dark. We've got the Ace of Wands. Very Maypole-ish. But one of the things that I like to do with this deck is at the beginning of the year or the end of the year, or any time that suits you really, because this is a circle, right, is to use these 8 Sabbats as a tarot spread. And to actually use this deck, I love using this deck, but of course you can use any deck. to choose a card for each of the Sabbats. So what is the theme going to be in that season? So it kind of keeps us in the wheel. Now, usually people who follow a more nature-focused path will celebrate the 8 Sabbats with a ritual. And of course, being a tarot person, I love to do a reading at each of those. So this is a lovely way to do it for the year. Choose a card for each of the Sabbats. And then at the time of the Sabbat, so for example, of course, it's not hard to recognize them either. You know, Christmas, it's our summer solstice. So it's easy to identify them, and I've got them written down on my website there in a blog there, so you can check them out if you want to. Our dates, I've got the Northern Hemisphere dates up there as well. But you know, so if we start with summer solstice, what's the focus here? Choose a card for that. And then Lammas, which is February 2nd. What's the focus for this season? Mabon, autumn equinox. And Samhain, All Hallows Eve, which over here is the 1st of May. And winter solstice, longest night, shortest day. A card for this. Imbolc, or Candlemas as they call it, 1st of August. Then finally spring, the spring equinox. And then Beltane, May Day, the 31st of October. Not All Hallows Eve down here, but it is in the Northern Hemisphere. And there we have this beautiful, I guess, pagan influence spread, the Wheel of the Year. It's the natural way. So I think this is a beautiful spread to do with this particular deck, although you can do it with any deck. And this is, you know, this one's around. You can easily get a copy of this deck. It's all about what you like, what you're drawn to. So I'll be looking at this when we're finished.